Hey, it's David, and we are getting ready to roll here for this presentation. If you would just type in the chat box that you can hear and see what's going on here on the screen. I'm not sure am I sharing the screen, Jen?
Not yet.
Yep, okay, good. Let me get the presentation up. And let's make sure that people can hear. So if you would type in the chat box that you can hear. Okay, great. Amy and Carrie, great. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you, Dave. Okay. So I'm getting this up. And now it's been a long time since I've used GoToWebinar. I've got to get used to it again. Let's see. Showing the screen. This screen. So you should now, are you seeing?
Yep, I see it.
Okay, great, great. Good. Okay, so thanks for being here. We need to start the recording on this to make sure we got it for everybody. So give me just 1 second to make that happen. All right, looks like we are recording. Okay, so this is a special presentation that we're doing for the people who have purchased Flixster from us. And the reason we're doing this is because we are, well, first let's just tell you why we did this promotion with Flixster. I'm David Perdue from MyNAMS.com, Novice to Advanced Marketing System, and Jen Perdue-Hauk is with me here today. And we're going to talk about how important it is to create video ads in Facebook for maximum results. And I said here, short, sweet, and effective, and that's exactly what we're going to try to present to you today is a short, sweet, and effective presentation about why your short, sweet, and effective video ads will work gangbusters for you. We're having really good success with that, and Jennifer is the mastermind behind all of that. So, Jen, do you want to say some things before we get started here about the video ad process, how that came to be?
So what we're going to do is, well, I'll tell you really quick how it came to be. We do a ton of Facebook advertising, and I had been really struggling with how to do video ads. I knew that video ads were a very inexpensive way to get engagement with people on our Facebook list and with, custom audiences and cold audiences. But I struggled with creating videos. I will never lie to you and tell you that I am a great video producer. Creating videos is kind of like my nemesis. And I really needed to figure out how to create something that was simple and easy. And I had a meeting with our Facebook ad rep a couple weeks ago, and she went through and looked at our ads and said, you're getting great results on your landing pages, but you really could get cheaper traffic if you tried to use some video ads in front of your landing page opt-ins, because you would have more targeted traffic to those landing pages. So I kind of bumbled around and found a piece of software that I loved, and it was really expensive. It was $99 a month to create 4 videos. And I went ahead and bought it and created my first video using it and got great results. And I'm actually going to show you the results that we've had from that video campaign, because I started this before we actually found the Flixster tool. And of course, after I had signed up for the $99 a month program, or after I'd signed up for the $99 a month program, my dad came to me and said, oh my gosh, there's a great tool out here that's doing exactly what you're trying to do. And so, we wholeheartedly jumped on board with Flixster, been doing the training, creating videos with that. But in the meantime, the more important part of that is that you now have the tool to create those videos. I'm going to show you and talk to you about creating the ads themselves. And so this is really more of a Facebook video training ad than a creating video ad, because you've already got, the product, you've got all of their training and their tutorial, which is incredibly simple and easy to follow. But what we wanted to do was be able to show you how to quickly create some video ads. So does that sound good?
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to reiterate that this is all about why you do the video ads and how to do the video ads so that they so that you get the most out of them. Now, Jen, you're going to share some numbers a little bit later, I think. Is that right?
I am, and I've already got some that are built into this presentation as well.
All right, good. So you ready to roll?
Sure.
Okay. So why are video ads great marketing tool? You can talk about this, Jen. This is your deal. High engagement, low cost, simple to create.
Yeah, and so that was the thing for me was I needed something fast, simple, and video ads are a great and inexpensive way to test the market. Make sure that, you know, the product or the message that you want to get out there is something that people are going to be interested in. And one of the things that my Facebook rep told me was try to create videos that are between 15 and 30 seconds long. You know, when you already have a highly engaged list or a warm list that you're talking to, you can create longer ads. But the idea behind these short and sweet video ads is to get your brand and your name out there quickly so that you can then begin capturing retargeting audiences, because that's the entire purpose of video ads, is to create a retargeting audience. And I'm going to actually show you live how to create a retargeting audience once we've gone through a couple of these slides here. But you know, the idea is that you're paying so little on the front end just to get people to watch your videos that if they've watched them to a certain point of completion, then you can go back with more targeted, more expensive ads and get higher conversion rates. And that's always our goal, is how do we do it? How do we do it as inexpensively as possible to create great content? And how do we make it simple? Because for me, simple is the key. Since I'm managing all of our ads, I need it to be fast and I need it to be simple. So you want to go ahead?
When you talk about high engagement, it's really, let's talk about the 15 to 30 second number, because really what you want is something that catches somebody's eye and keeps them in play until they read your message on the video itself. A 5-second video, I think anybody can stumble across that, and they really haven't made a commitment. A 30-second video initial impression might be too long, because that's a lot to ask from somebody these days on the internet, is to sit there and watch 30 seconds. Believe it or not, that seems like a long time. So we settled on 15 seconds, right? And 15 seconds, we were getting an 85% completion on 15 seconds, which means people are interested enough that they were engaged enough that they would watch that entire video, which is really important, because that's an indicator that they're interested in what you got.
Right. And so I actually think that the very next slide has got some of the numbers on it that actually first, let's just talk about what I needed to be able to create my video ad. And it was a great video. And so for me, I was using a piece of software that had templates that already had the videos in it, had the lower thirds, anything that I could customize quickly and easily. And you're able to do that with your Flickster software that you've purchased. The second thing that you're going to need is a Facebook ad account. And the third thing is a small budget. And, you know, I was looking at our numbers just in preparing for this call today, and we've spent $149 so far to date. And I've now been running this ad for 14 days, and we've had over 6,000, 85% completed video views. My video view cost is less than 2 cents per video view. And when I set my ad up, I said that I only wanted to pay for people that were watching a certain percentage or more of the video, because, you know, when people start stumbling across your content in their newsfeed and it starts to autoplay, I don't want to pay for those first few seconds of people just sitting there and letting it autoplay as they're scrolling through. I only wanted to pay for people that I knew that were more engaged. So when I created my ad, and I'm going to show you how to create a video ad as well. When I created my ad, I was sure to choose that option in my setup so that I was paying for the maximum results, because my maximum results were to get people to see more than 85% of that video.
So if you've done $149 in 14 days, that's just a little bit over $10 a day, which is a very small budget, right? You can do a lot with that.
Yep, exactly. And that's actually what I have the budget set at, is $10 a day.
So we're going to look at an example video in a second, and you want to tell people now why this works, or do you want to talk about it as the video is playing or after the video?
Well, no, because the video is too short, and so I'm going to tell everybody why it works, and then we're going to watch the video really quick so that you can then see these examples. So for me, I chose a highly targeted audience, and I also chose a highly targeted call to action in this video. I knew exactly what I wanted to send our traffic to. I wanted to send people to an opt-in, and I also wanted it to be different, and I wanted it to be funny. But I also needed to make sure that the call to action was very visible on the ad. So I have, a button on the ad. I've got a really good call to action on my last page as well. But going back to the highly targeted, when I show you this ad here in just a second, you're going to see why it's funny and it's entertaining to my highly targeted audience. So why don't you go ahead and play the video,
Okay.
and which is on our next slide, and then we'll talk about it.
I love that video ad.
So the reason why this worked was a couple reasons, actually. First off, I already had a blog post that we had that was titled "Content is King." And so we had talked about in this blog post, why content is really, really important to high engagement. But when I talk about a highly targeted audience, guess what? I'm only sending this video ad out to our female blogging audience. That's actually an audience that I had set up in my account. I wanted people who were interested in blogging as their business, and I wanted to focus on women because this ad was funny to women. And so I don't think that if I had sent this ad out to men, that they would have thought that it was as funny. And so this is why this particular ad has worked so well for us. So on our next slide, I'm going to tell you, I've got some results here just from the video itself. So we've had over 6,000 views of 85% or more. We've had 30 opt-ins, and the opt-in rate is $4.90. Now that's high, but the ultimate goal of my ad is not to get opt-ins. My ultimate goal for this ad was to build a custom audience. And those video views are building a custom audience. And so the 30 opt-ins are great. I love that. But that was not my initial goal for this ad.
That was gravy.
And yes, that was gravy. And so on our next slide,
Before you go,
Yep.
I'm sorry. I want to talk about the 6,000 video views, because when you say custom audience, I know we're going to look at this a little bit live in a minute, but just explain to people what a custom audience is, because it really is a list, right?
Right, it is. And it's not a list that you can see the exact number of people. You can't see, their name or their email address, but Facebook is capturing the number of people who have watched this video in their database. And so it allows you to set up retargeting ads to those people. And, Facebook handles that. And so, yes, it is a list that you are managing inside Facebook. But the ultimate goal is that you want these people off of your list. Off of Facebook into your own list, which is why we create the retargeting ads and why we want the opt-in opportunity available in the video itself, so that people can move off of Facebook into your own platform, because you have a better opportunity to speak to them from your own platform as opposed to Facebook, just simply because Facebook is so busy and noisy. So this really gives you a chance to do that if you can get people to actually move from Facebook and opt in.
Which we were doing with retargeting.
Correct. So I have a retargeting ad that is set up, and on this retargeting ad, we have had 107 opt-ins for the same free report that we had inside the Facebook, the video. And so now you can see that our cost per opt-in is down to $2.35. Now, there's a lot of different numbers here that we're talking about. And for us, $2.35 is a price that we're willing to pay to have somebody opt into our list, because we know that in a 7-day, 14, 30-day period, that we will ultimately have purchases that offset this cost. And so this is why I'm willing to do this. And we've got this particular ad. I have been running this ad. So what I did was I took our best performing ad to this blogging product, and I used that to retarget with, because I already had huge performance. I'd already proven the performance to this video ad. In the ad that I'm running right now, just to the landing page for this opt-in product, we had over 60% conversion. So I knew that this product did really well. So I didn't reinvent the wheel and create a brand new ad to retarget these people with. I retargeted them using an ad that we had already proven that works, that we make sales on. And so that's why this works really, really well for us. And, when I started running this particular ad campaign, when we were testing the market a couple of months ago, for this opt-in, that is, I started with $5 a day. I wasn't spending a lot of money, and I don't spend a lot of money on these ads when we're just testing them, because I don't want to waste money. I want to know that it's something that's proven and that people are going to like. And so I now spend, I want to say that I'm spending $25 to $30 a day now on this ad, total on this entire ad campaign, because we get results. But that's been incremental. And I just increased that budget as the ads prove themselves more, and we see that we get purchases on the back end of that.
So I just want to connect the dots here. So the first thing we did was have a goal of creating a custom audience of people who watched the video. And the people who watched the video went into this bucket. And it's an anonymous bucket. We don't know who they are.
Right.
So to find out who they are, we have to convert them to our opt-in page using a retargeting ad. So we've got a 1-2 punch here already. The first punch is watch the video. The second punch is we're going to put an ad in front of you that says come get this report. And so they do that, and we've gotten 107 from this plus 30 from the front end, and this is just increasing over time because we've got these people in this custom list for 180 days. So we can continue to retarget them over and over and over.
Right.
Okay.
That's exactly it. And so this is really just a quick overview of what we had been doing. And so what I wanted to be able to show you today was how to actually create your own ad. And I shortcut this a little bit because I didn't want you to have to wait for me to upload a video and things like that. So I've already uploaded the video, but that's all I've done. And I wanted to be able to show you how to create your custom audience. But first, we're going to actually create the video ad. And if you jump over to the next screen, I'm going to show you the video that we've got going on here. This is the new one I've added.
Nice.
So this video is marketing to our #1 top lead gen or lead magnet that we have on Facebook right now. In the past 8 months, no, not 8 months, probably 6 months, we've added probably over 2,000 people to our list just with this ad. Right now, as of today, this ad is converting at over 70%. And not the video ad, but the lead generation ad. So what I wanted to do was create this video ad in front of that so that I could try to hone in and target, drill down a little bit more into people that really, really are interested in email marketing. So you want me to go ahead and share my screen?
Let's give you the screen. So let's see, can you take it or do I need to give it? Change presenter. Here we go. This is going to come to you right there.
Hold on.
Okay, you should be
Okay.
presenter now.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. I am trying to make sure I am showing you the right screen here. Okay.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
you should be seeing inside my ad account. Let me make this a little bit bigger here. And so this is inside my ads manager. And all I have done is hit the button that says create new ad. And I preloaded my video just so that it would be done for the purpose of this call. You can actually load it in this ads manager, or you can preload it. It's really whatever works for you. And for the objective here, Facebook gives you a lot of different objectives. And when I am doing straight lead magnet ads, I use a conversion objective because I want to know how many people are actually registering and signing up for my lead magnet. But for the video view, to be able to create the custom audience that we need, we have to use a video view ad. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this.
And the reason we do this is because it's so cheap.
Correct. And
Okay.
so I've actually started this ad this morning so that we would have a little bit of I'd have a little bit of traffic behind the video itself, so I could show you how to create the custom audience. So I'm just going to create this as this is our test video ad. And we're going to go ahead and hit continue. And so this is going to be my test audience. Now, I had gone through and created an audience. I have an audience that I use quite a bit that I have a lot of success with. And depending on what your niche is, you will probably have some audiences that work really well for you. I'll give you a couple of my tips though in how I create this ad. First thing I always do is I determine what my age range is going to be. And I determine this because I know my market and I know who our customers are, and 18-year-olds are not our customers. And so I typically start with depending on, so the blogging, I use an age range of 29 because we have a lot of younger women who are interested in blogging. For this particular product though, my best age ranges have started at 38. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick with that because 38 has been working for me in the past. And we'll just use United States for this. But depending on where you are, you may find that your audience is in Canada or in the United Kingdom.
Yeah, we do well in Australia and UK and Singapore. We actually do pretty well in Singapore as well.
Yep, and we do really well in South Africa as well. That's right. And so the goal behind this too is you want to look at where your business is located too, because since we're a US-based business, all of our products are priced on the US dollar. And so it doesn't make sense for me to market to a country or a region that has a very low, I don't know what the right word is here. I'm not a
exchange rate.
Yeah, very low exchange rate. So if a $30 product is going to be a week's pay for somebody, then it doesn't make sense for me to market to that area. So we also choose areas that have a high exchange rate where the US dollar is going to be high in comparison to what their currency is too. Mm-hmm. So we've got our age range here. This particular ad, I actually am going to do both men and women. We have got pretty equal results for the ads I've run in the past to this product. And the video, if you notice, the video does not alienate one or the other. Men typically like to look at women. Women like to look at pretty women and as well. And so that video works for me to be able to use both genders in my ad. So my demographics, this is what hangs most people up, is trying to figure out what kind of audience that they want to target. And a video ad gives you a little more flexibility, I think, to test different interest levels and different markets because you're not spending quite as much money. And so you're able to really test and see what's working for you. But here's a couple little pro tips for you on creating your ads. There is one field that I use no matter what, and it's based on what our business is. Since we're in online business training, I don't want to market to anybody who doesn't have access as an admin to their Facebook page. Because if they are a Facebook page admin, to me that means that they're a decision maker and that they have the opportunity to purchase a product, number one, and number two, that they're already pretty serious about their business because they have created a Facebook business page. So that's the first thing I choose, no matter what I'm marketing to. And that's the only thing I keep in this box, because that means that they have to meet this criteria before Facebook is going to look at any of the additional criteria that I enter in here. So because
the
this
one thing I
particular,
want to point out, Jim, sorry, on
yeah,
the right, the numbers are dropping on the right, and the little meter gets in the green, and so we clicked from 10-second views. We went from 200 to 19 to 300 is our minimum there. So that was really good as we're getting more targeted, right?
right. And so my potential reach here is still 22 million, which is way, way, way too high.
Yep.
I try to keep my audience size below 1 million, and I typically shoot for between 750 and 1 million if I can. And so on my video views or on my video ads, I'm not that selective because it's so inexpensive. So the one I ran this morning, I think I was actually at 1.4 million, and I went ahead and ran with that because I had just drilled down as far as I could, and I was still getting those kinds of results. And so if you want to make sure that your potential reach is lower than that, then you just have to start messing around. You know, you remove countries, or you maybe increase your age range or something like that. But so on this particular ad, the next thing that I'm going to add in here, which is another little pro tip that you can use, is called online shopping, I think is what it's called. I have it in my other account. So behaviors. So what we're looking for, we're not looking for an interest. We are looking for a behavior. And that behavior might be shopper. So behavior. Okay. So I love engaged shopper as one of my criteria, because look, it tells me under the description, these are people who have clicked on a call to action button, shop now, in the past. That means that they already have the intention of purchasing. So I always want to use those people because we know they're online buyers. Mm-hmm. And there's actually two here that I use. I use engaged shopper, and I guess it's shopper. Can't ever remember. I copied these from my other ads. So we've got these two. So we know that they're buyers. You can see here this is a buyer profile. And these are behaviors, though. These are not interests. Anybody can be interested in online shopping. We want to know that these people are online shoppers. So these are the two criteria that I use no matter what. And you can see just by picking those other two criteria, we've now dropped our list, our potential reach, in half to 11 million. So based on the content that we are using in this ad, our call to action is to get people to download free templates for email marketing. So the first thing I want to do is I want to get people who are interested in email marketing. So there's an interest right there. Look, now we've dropped to 150,000 people. Perfect. So I'm also going to add, let's see here. If somebody is doing email marketing, they're probably interested in social media marketing as well. We'll grab that. And if they're doing both of these, they're probably also interested in content marketing. So I'm going to add that. So look, now I've got my list back up to 620,000. Let me add one more of these. If somebody were interested in content marketing, email marketing, and social media marketing. Dad, what other things do you think that they'd be interested in?
Affiliate marketing, product creation, video marketing.
Look, there's affiliate marketing is in here. So now we're up to my sweet number, 900,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. This is, I don't mess with target incomes. I don't mess with college education, home ownership, or anything like that because of the niche that I'm in. You know, if you were a mortgage broker or you were in, you know, the real estate niche or something like that, then that may be an important demographic for you to try to get new clients. For me, that's not important. These are the important interests for me, and these are the interests that I have already had a lot of success with. So because I have success with these, I'm not going to reinvent the wheel every single time I create a new ad. And yes, I'm hitting a lot of the same people over and over again, but I got 1 million people here that I can put this in front of. So I still have a lot of room to be able to present ads to over and over and over again with different kind of content. So does that make sense to everybody? If you would just go ahead and put in the chat box to me that this is all making sense and that we've not missed any big steps here.
Yeah, we're not getting any questions, so that's good. I think people are getting this.
So the next thing here I'm going to show you. This was a huge lesson for me. I made a big fat mistake, and so you guys get to learn from my big. Seriously, the only way I have learned how to do this as well as I have is from making a lot of mistakes, and sometimes they're costly. But the reason why I test with low budget is so that it's not ridiculously costly. So when you're setting up your ad, most people, and Facebook tells you, that you should do automatic placements. I never do automatic placements. And let me show you why. First off, you have to know where your best traffic comes from. And I say this meaning the platform. So there's a lot of ads that I run that I only run to mobile. And I'm constantly looking at what my results are to see what, like how many opt-ins I'm getting. Are they coming from mobile? Are they coming from desktop? For these videos, I'm actually running these on all devices, not just mobile, because it's so inexpensive that I don't care to put these in front of both a desktop audience and a mobile audience. But on most of my lead gens, I actually run them to mobile only, just to get started, since most people are surfing Facebook on their phones. So the other thing, and I'm going to tell you, this is where my big little mistake happened, the audience network. So the audience network is great. And what this means is the audience network is where Facebook presents your ads on other pages that, I'm sure that they've got some kind of contract with Facebook to be able to show your ads on their platform. So you messaged me last night, Dad, and told me you saw one of our ads. Where was it?
USA Today.
USAtoday.com. Yep. And so that would be because I was running a landing page or an opt-in ad, and I am running that in the audience network. Mm-hmm. But here's the big sticker. You cannot retarget video views in the audience network. I made a huge mistake with that in the very beginning when I started running these video ads, and I had to stop my ads and redo them because I had generated all of these video views, but I couldn't remarket to any of them because they were in the audience network. And
so essentially, are you saying that they have to be on Facebook or one of the Facebook properties to be retargeted?
Exactly. Okay. Exactly. Now you can retarget those people in the audience network on any of these additional properties, but to get them as in your custom audience for the video view custom audience, it has to happen in a Facebook property. And so I go ahead and I turn this off. And I'll tell you right now, I'm shocked at the number of opt-ins that I'm getting for the video ad we just showed you, the content is king, how many I'm getting from Instagram. And I was going to turn Instagram off, actually, and I ended up boosting Instagram and how much I was spending on Instagram because I'm getting those opt-ins for a much cheaper price than what I'm getting them for with Facebook. So right now, so for this particular ad I'm creating, I am going to put it in the news feed. I'm not going to put it in instant articles. In-stream videos. This is, I have really had a hard time making a decision about this because I hate in-stream video ads for myself when I'm watching them on Facebook. So you may know what those are. You're watching this video, you're like super, super engaged in the video. And like the big moment is about to happen and an ad pops up. That's an in-stream video.
Ooh.
And I hate them. But guess what? We're getting a ton of video views from in-stream video ads because people are forced to watch them. And what I don't know yet is whether or not those are converting. So I still don't have enough data on my in-stream video ads to know if these folks are converting yet. For the purpose of this, I'm going to turn it off. And I'm only going to leave suggested videos, and I'm going to turn off Marketplace because I don't use the Marketplace ads since we're not selling physical products there. So for this particular ad, I'm going to use Newsfeed, suggested videos, and I'm going to use Instagram. We cool on that, everybody? Oh, we got lots of comments in here, so I just want to make sure I am not missing anything.
It's all praise. There's no real question. So let me just say, if you wanted to, and tell me if I'm wrong, but if you wanted to, couldn't you create an ad for each one of these sources just to really determine which one was the best delivery?
So, this morning, I was working in our ad. So we've been running these for 2 weeks. And what I decided to do this morning was then I started breaking these out. So I'm running only Instagram ads. And I'm actually going to show you this here in just a second, why I'm doing this when I'd actually show you the ad preview. But yes, once you know what's working best for you, it makes a lot of sense to go ahead and then drill down these ads individually based on the platform placement. So this is another little important thing you need to know down here. And this all mobile devices for a product like this really short video, I would not check this only when connected to Wi-Fi. So what this means is that the video is not going to show unless the mobile device is connected to Wi-Fi. And for a short video like this, I wouldn't do that. If it was like a long training video and you were doing something, maybe a video to your a warm list, or you had done a Facebook Live and you were then using that video to market to and it was longer, you may want to go ahead and only show it to people when they're connected to Wi-Fi, just because of the amount of data that it's going to take. I know a couple people that do this. None of my videos are very long, and so I never do this, but that's what that is there for. So on my budget, we're going to go ahead and set this for $10 a day, and I'm just going to start it today. I personally don't choose a set start and an end date on any of my ads, and let me tell you why. I believe that Facebook is going to spend your money, and I believe that they are going to, it's kind of like crack. You know, if you set up an ad that says it's going to end on Friday, they're going to show you, they're going to give you like the best results between now and Friday. And then you're like, oh my gosh, my ad was performing so well. You're going to go ahead and take that ad, duplicate it, create a long-term ad, and then your results aren't really that great. Well, you don't have, there's not an apple to apples comparison here. I want to know what my ads are going to look like if they're evergreen and they're running long term. And so I want there to be evenly distributed traffic so that I can make long-term decisions on our budget and whether the ads are working or not. I would prefer to stretch out the objective goals for more consistent analysis versus like a really quick shot of like a feel-good shot and then make some bad decisions because I haven't had my ad running long enough. Does that make sense to you, Dad?
Sure, it does.
And so I manually manage this. I don't do set start and end dates unless the only time I do a start date is if it is specifically tied to a campaign, like a launch, or a product isn't available until this specific date, but I want to build the ads out in advance. That's the only time I use the start date. So this section right here is what we talked about a little bit ago. I don't want to target to people who are going to watch 2 seconds of my video. I want 10 seconds because that tells me that they're more interested and they're getting closer to my call to action. So I always set this for my 10-second video view. And I do let Facebook, I don't do a bid on these. I let Facebook do this pretty much on their own, but I do charge. I changed this to 10-second video view, not to impressions, because I only want to be charged for people that are going to watch my video based on what my optimization here is at the top. So I do change this. And I don't do scheduling or anything like that, simply because, and I'll tell you what this is when you do, it's different here on, so it allows you to spend your budget as fast as possible, which is what I don't want. I want to drip my budget out so that I'm having consistent results. But on regular ads, opt-in ads that have like a registration completion or a purchase goal, you'll have an option here at the bottom that says to schedule your ads for the time of day that people may be most likely to see your ad. I've got a couple of these I do this with, but generally I don't, because Facebook drives me nuts with turning the ads on, turning the ads off, and I'm just not sure it's beneficial to turn your ads on and off all the time, to be honest. And I don't have enough data to prove that right or wrong. So I do let my ads run all the time. Oh, this is it, the button right here, run your ads on a schedule. So you can't do that with a video ad. So this is it about setting up just your actual, your audience, your initial audience to show your video to. This allows you to get the most eyeballs on your ad and then start collecting the data and analyzing the data further once you've built that audience.
So one of the things I saw down there is max spend is $140. Right now it says you'll spend no more than $70 this week.
Right, because our budget, because of how our ad account is set up, all of our ads start at $20 a day, because that's just generally, and so when I changed
that's your default settings.
Yeah, that's my default. And so it's just telling me that I'm not going to spend any more than $70 a week on this ad.
Okay, good.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and hit continue. And now we're at the part here where we're actually going to set up the ad itself. And I just want to make sure I delete the right things. All right, so I have already created my video and I've already uploaded it here. So I'm going to show you. It's in my library, and I'm just going to, if I were to upload it myself, I would just upload it, and there's one of my videos I ran. This is the one actually right here that we are going to use, but I've already uploaded it, so we didn't have to wait for that to happen.
Yeah, we didn't see anything come up.
Library.
Okay, there.
Oh, there we go. So let's see here. Uploaded. Oh wait, no. Filters. Where's my content is king? I have an ad run into this, so it's got to be here. Am I in the right account? That's the first question. All right, well, let's just load the video. So we'll let it do its thing here. And in the meantime, oh, that was pretty fast.
It's not going to be a meantime to it. It's like boom.
Yeah, right. There it is.
The advantages of fast internet.
I know it. I love my Comcast.
Well, you don't hear that very often.
I know it. I love Comcast. So while this thing's doing its thing here, I am going to, first thing that you can set this up to not add a website. I'm not sure why you would, but you have to check the add website button. And let's see. So here's my video. And we can choose a custom thumbnail here so that this is what people see. They can see any of these screens when they click on it, like what you want it to show. So I want it to be the goodbye computer screen because that's a pretty good little call to action there. And we're just going to put my NAMS in here. Actually, 4 swipes, I think is what I called this one.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, display link, we don't need that. So what we want to do here is put our headline in here. We want to do this text box right here at the top is going to be what shows up here at the top of the ad. Our headline is going to be the big copy down here at the bottom. Then we actually have a secondary content, this news feed link description. So we'll just say email marketing rocks and is the best way to build. And none of my grammar police say anything. And headline. So get your free download, and let's just say.
And one of the things that Jennifer has learned, and I've heard her say before, is she's learned not to be cute in the call to action headlines, because you got to just be straightforward about what people are getting and tell them what to do.
Yep. Okay, so we'll just stay with that. So the other thing I do here, so I typically don't use buttons in my ads because I want the ad to look more organic, like it's a blog post, but in the videos, I do. And because it tells them that you have so little opportunity to get to the call to action in a video because they're not going to see the link or the call to action until the very end. So I want them to know that there is a call to action that is immediate and available to them right now. So I use download, and you can do any call to action here that you want. You can do learn more, subscribe, whatever it is that you are marketing for. I'm going to use download because I've used download here in my headline too. And then all of this is just my own reporting down here at the bottom, so that won't mean anything to you. But this is what I wanted to show you. So here at the top, you can see I've chosen 6 areas to place this video. So it's going to give me a news feed, or it's going to give me a preview of what it looks like. And I always go through and check these because, you know, it may look great in one format, but may look really bad in another, which is part of why I pulled out my Instagram ads this morning and ran them separately. Let me show you. So see here with Instagram, there's no real call to action here. You're not seeing much of a call to action. Now, Instagram does require that there's a button. And actually, if I'm not mistaken, when I save this, Instagram is going to change this download to a learn more. And so when I'm running my Instagram ads now, I'm pulling them out separately, and I'm adding my headline in my text copy here at the top. So let's just say, get your free downloads. Free download. If I spelled download right. Download. So now you see what happens here. I've added this headline right here in the very front of my call to action here on Instagram so that they know that there's a little freebie here for them to get instead of just to learn more. And I didn't know this, I didn't realize that this was how Instagram videos were going to appear until I got in and started testing. And as I was looking at my my Instagram conversions, I was thinking, you know, I bet these could be better. Let me take a look at how the ad preview looks. What can I do to get more people actually opting in and clicking? Because my conversion rates were really good when they clicked. I wasn't getting enough clicks in Instagram though I wanted more clicks. I wanted to be greedy, and I wanted more clicks in Instagram. So I started looking at the setup and realized that the call to action in the headline is not visible in the Instagram ad. So that's why I go through and add this little bit of copy or add some call to action here in the very front so that they know right off the bat what they're going to get. Most people are very tempted when the word free is, and actually probably what I would say here is not free download. I would say get your free templates because people love templates. And so that's probably what I would say right there. So does that make sense, Dad?
It does. It looks good.
Okay, do we have questions?
No questions. I think
Okay.
that people are getting this.
Okay, so I would just hit save after I've proofed it and all that kind of good stuff. And so, yeah. So because I didn't, we're just going to ignore the error message right now because I'm doing this quickly on the fly. But so that's all there is to setting up your ad. Now, the next thing that you've got to do after you've let your ad run for just a little bit, what we're going to do is we're going to create a custom audience so that you can capture the traffic that is on the people who are watching that video so that you can retarget them. So we're going to go ahead and you can see here I use a lot of saved audiences and custom audiences and things like that. And so what we do is under, this is called a hamburger menu. And under the hamburger menu here, this shows my most used tools, but if you go to here to all tools, you may find it over here until you start using it more. But I use it a lot, so mine always comes right here. This is my audiences. I'm going to create a new audience. This is how you create any custom audience in Facebook, not just a video view. So we're going to go to, I shouldn't have clicked the button, sorry. We're going to go to create audience, and we're going to go to custom. And we're going to go to engagement. And so this is for people that are engaging with your content on Facebook or Instagram. So had I read this more closely, I would have noticed that this didn't include the audience network, but I didn't. And so this was a lesson learned, and now you won't have to make this mistake too. And so I'm going to go ahead and grab my video because that's what we're looking for. And so I'm going to choose content. So this is where you can choose. You know, you could make sure that, you know, people are viewing at least 10 seconds of your video, or if your video is a little longer, you can do 25, 50, 75, 90. You can do the 3 seconds. I personally think that you might be wasting a little bit of money if you do it this way, but you never know. You might get in front of somebody. So I'll go ahead and just grab this 10 seconds. And so then we see, sorry, all my client stuff. Here's my video. So we can see I've already had 91 video views since I added this. And I just select this video.
Just a few minutes ago?
No, it's the one from this that I added this morning.
Yeah, okay, got it.
When I added this morning, I actually added it on our business page so that anybody who follows us on our business page would see it. So this is organic. I've not run any ads to this yet. And I'm just going to go ahead and hit confirm. There it is. And so on video, you can actually engage with video for 365 days. Whereas in your other custom audiences where you're grabbing a pixel, because the pixel lives on your website, you can only get it for 180 days. When people are engaging with your content on Facebook, you can actually remarket to them for a year. And so this is going to be my retarget. This is what I call this video, email marketing. I can't remember what I called it, email marketing video. And this is going to be retargeting. Something else too, just as if I were doing this for real, I date everything so that I know when I actually am creating things. And so I've created a couple new ads today. When I'm creating my custom audiences like this that I've loaded from my autoresponder, anything like that, I put a date on it. So I know when the last time that I updated the list, so that I know what the time frame is that I need to edit and add new content. So for example, I would go and look at anything after today, or based on whenever I updated this list last. So I always just put a date in front of this, and there we go. So you can actually create an ad automatically using this, or you can let Facebook try to help you find more audiences, more of an audience based on this. You're going to need a little bit more time for the actual audience to build, to be able to run the ad, to create an ad using that, or to be able to create like a lookalike audience. And I think you need to have at least 100 views, video views, to actually be able to use it in an ad. So I typically let my ad run for about 24 hours, and then I go in and create the custom audience so that I've already got the 100 video views in it. So, but if you want to make sure you don't forget to do it, you can do it in advance and then go back and just set your ad later. So that's it. That is really all there is to creating an ad, a video ad in Facebook.
Okay, so now you've created the ad. How do you know? How do you where do you find results? How do you monitor your ad?
Well, you're going to go to your ads manager here, and I'm trying to think because I have client stuff in this.
Yeah, you don't have to go there.
Yeah,
just tell us what it is.
Yeah, and so what happens here is you would just go to your hamburger menu, and you would go to your ads manager, and then you're going to pull down. If you only have your account, it's only going to show your account. And you could see on mine, I have a lot of client accounts, and so initially it's going to show you everything, and then you can just filter and drill down by your ad results. And if you give me just a second, actually, let me unshare my screen for a minute, and I can get into an ad that's one of ours if I just drill past some of the client accounts for a second. So did I stop sharing?
You did.
I did?
You did, yes.
Okay. So give me just a second here.
So this has been pretty good so far. I mean, I've learned a lot just watching what we're doing here. I've known what we're doing theoretically, but I'm really seeing the execution of it. So if you get hit by a bus tomorrow, I think I'm okay.
Oh, there we go. All right. So let me get to Ads Manager. And
anybody else have any questions while she's pulling this up so far? Did you get it? Everybody got what she's doing? Because we're coming to the end of this. Now let me just say, Jen, while you're doing this, the way Flixster plays into this, and the reason we did this for the Flixster folks, is that create these short videos fast. There's videos that come with Flixster, and you're not limited to those though. You can always go buy videos or buy video packages or whatever, and you can use Flixster to create the overlays and the type on the videos and all of the little elements that you need to create an engaging ad.
Let's see here. Let me share my screen again. So you're seeing my screen?
Yep.
Okay. So this is the past 14 days of this particular ad that we're running. So we actually, I guess, have run it for a little more than 14 days. And so in the past 14 days, we've had 57 and 20 10-second video views. And this is the one I just did this morning. So it just got approved while we were on this call. I saw it pop up. And this is the one, let me see here. I think this is my Instagram ad. This is Instagram placement. Oh, no, this is a different one. And so you can see here that this is what this looks like here. And, oh yeah, because I haven't done my Instagram on this one. So you can go in and edit anything that you want. Now, I do recommend that you don't edit your ads for at least 72 hours. Facebook, you can see here, let me go back. Sorry, they changed the little interface on this today.
They're always
and
changing stuff.
I know it. There was just a minute ago when we were here, it said learning. And so when Facebook is still trying to like activate your ads and get to know your audience and everything, you're going to see something here that says learning. And I just recommend that you don't mess with it while it's doing its thing, because I actually really do believe in Facebook's algorithm. I think that their algorithm is pretty tight. And so I really let them take control, because it's in their best interest that you're successful with your ads, or else you're not going to buy them. And the more successful that you are, the more money that you spend. That is the only reason why, you know, we have been able to get an ad rep, is because, you know, we spend a lot of money. And but I needed to be successful.
Enough. We don't spend a lot. We spend enough.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we don't spend a lot as opposed to what other people do. And so let's see here. So let's look at the breakdown. I wanted to look at video engagement.
Sounds like Jack's excited.
Oh, the power company just showed up. So I'm just... Hold on. My husband is running the dogs across the room. All right, so video views here. So we can see it's telling us that, so right now, so my numbers have dropped from when I ran my initial, I'm down to 73%. Now, when I ran these earlier, I'd run them from lifetime. Yeah, I'd run it lifetime. Well, let's just run it lifetime. Let's see what happens.
72.
Yeah, so we're down to 72. And so we can see that I'm already delivering right now on my new ad. This is my test audience that I did this morning. And so I've spent $2.49 and we're at 85.54%. And so we can see here, it's going to tell you that people are watching 25%, 50, 75, and 95. And I'm real happy with these numbers. Now, I know this is a short ad, but this is really beneficial when you've got a little bit longer of an ad. I do this with a lot of my clients, that we look at the video metrics and we're able to go back and pinpoint a word that they said, or maybe some content that they talked about, where we see big spikes or big drops. And it allows you to go back into your videos and say, okay, what did I do here to lose my audience? And so these are really valuable tools to pay attention to, especially when you're trying to look at content like this and look at how it's going to convert for you. So this is just how we would go in and take a look and see what the performance is on this. So I'm not unhappy with this at all. Okay,
this is good. So the next step from this point is the retargeting ads, and that basically is using ads that you already have set up for that campaign, right? So what you've done is basically slap a more effective and cheaper front end on ads that you already have. Okay.
Great. Good. And so we've got a couple questions here. So Carrie asked, do we use voiceover on Facebook ads? So for these particular ads that we're running right now, these short ones, there is no voiceover. There is just a little bit of music, and the music was included in the templates that we use. One thing I do pay a really close attention to is the volume of the video, the music in the video. You know, how many times have you clicked on a video and it's like the volume is like screaming at you? And so I like to just try to pay a little bit of attention to that, especially when, you know, the music's cute and it lends to the video ad itself, but it's not integral to the video content. Now, if you're talking, we don't do voiceovers on our videos. I'm trying to think of when we would do a voiceover.
Well, if we ran an ad that was like something, there was an ad that we had of me talking on the screen, but that's not the same kind of ad. That was a longer ad. It's more of a training ad. Whenever there's a training kind of piece to it, we do use the voiceover piece. If it's a sales video, it's probably not going to be a sales video that we run an ad to. A sales video is probably going to be the second step in the process, because you still want to get people engaged with your front end ad, right?
Yeah, so here's a great little little tip though is if, let's just say I was running these videos and they did have actual voice against them. And, you know, I was marketing to the UK, US, Australia. Would it make sense for me to use voiceovers that have a British accent or a UK or a Australian accent? I don't know the answer to that because I've never done it. But, you know, that would be a way to really, really have congruent ads with your market for sure. Just depends on whether you want to do something like that or not. So Ute had a question here. She said, okay, do I get this right? You create an ad, let it run for a day or so until you get 100 views. Then you create a custom ad. No, so you let it run for a day or so till you get 100 views. Then you create a custom audience. And then you use that custom audience to create a retargeting ad. So that way, and that retargeting ad is going to be an ad that you want to get people opted in for, to actually give you their email address. It's more of a pointed ad to deliver the same lead gen, the same lead magnet that you are showing in the call to action at the end of your video. So it helps with congruency, and you want to make sure that the topic is exactly the same as what your video ad is.
Okay, Jennifer,
all right, guys, I think we're good.
Yep. We are over our time, and thanks for sticking with us on this. And there will be a replay if the recording is as good as I think it's going to be. And we will let you know about this so that you can take a look at it, okay? Thanks for hanging in there, and I appreciate you doing this, Jen. Thanks.
Yep, talk to you soon.
Okay, bye-bye.